Here we go to Phil Gramm. Phil Gramm? Phil Gramm's not in the Senate anymore. What are we talking about him? He was a Republican senator from Texas. Okay, yeah, he was John McCain's top economic advisor, but John McCain lost. Why are we talking about Phil Gramm? Because the Republicans have brought him back. Paul Ryan's doing a hearing called The Broken Budget Process, Perspectives from Budget Experts. And he's brought in Phil Gramm. Let me tell you what kind of an expert Phil Gramm is. He's an expert in totally and utterly screwing our economy. He's the guy that put in the Commodity Futures Modernization Act. That sounds pretty good, right? Hey, we're modernizing things. You know what it did? It took away all of the regulations on over-the-counter derivatives. Those same over-the-counter derivatives are what crashed our economy in 2008. As much as Larry Summers and Tim Geithner and Bernanke and Hank Paulson, all those guys are responsible for the crash, there is no one more responsible than Phil Gramm. It was his idea in the first place to deregulate those derivatives that absolutely destroyed our economy. By the way, he got paid handsomely for it as soon as he left the Senate. After he got that passed, he got paid millions upon millions of dollars by European banks, who, by the way, then lost billions upon billions of dollars because of that same legislation. But who cares? The executives took the money. If the shareholders lose the money, or the American taxpayers or the German taxpayers lose the money, who cares? Phil Gramm got rich. He got rich and he wants to do it again. Here's another expertise of Phil Gramm. He said during 2008 that the recession we were going through was just, quote, a mental recession. A mental recession. Well, it was brought to us by people who are mental, like Phil Gramm. But of course, that's if you think Phil Gramm cares about the country. He doesn't. He's not mental at all. He's smart. He's like, I want to be a millionaire. I don't care how much I crap all over the American economy and the American people to get there, right? Mental recession. What part of 8 to 14 million jobs lost don't you understand? Well, what part of that was mental? What part of 9.1% unemployment is mental, right? But look at his disdain for the American people. He says, quote, we have sort of become a nation of whiners. You just hear this constant whining. Phil Gramm doesn't understand why you're whining. He's rich. All of his friends are stinking rich. Why are you all whining? Oh, you lost your jobs. Boo-hoo. I got rich. What do I give a rat's ass about you? But thank God they have brought the budget expert, Phil Gramm, back. Really appreciate that. This is the guy they want to put in charge again. Oh, please, Mr. Phil Gramm, tell us how you make the rich richer and how you take a dump all over the American people and then call them whiners while you're doing it. Here's another great Phil Gramm quote for you. We're the only nation in the world where all our poor people are fat. Yeah, it's all the poor people's fault. Oh, the poor people are so rich that they're gluttonous. I mean, the poor people, by definition, have all the money, right? Nothing is bad enough for the poor. They're whiners, they're fat, they're losers. I crashed the economy because of my bill. So what? I made millions of dollars and I'm going to blame you for it. And the Republican Party, they're bringing him back. He's their main expert. So you have either the sellout corporatist Democrats who can't wait to do the bidding of corporations and the rich, or you have the Republicans who are going to just, I mean, look, it's not just that they do the same thing and worse. Their greed is run amok. Look at what their greed and Phil Gramm's greed caused in 2008. And the next time, it's going to be so much worse. Do you know that the banks are now leveraged sometimes not only much worse, but their size is sometimes 20 times as large as Lehman Brothers. Lehman Brothers is the one that caused the crash in 2008. We're in so much trouble, you have no idea. And if the Republicans get in charge, they're just going to expedite the process.